The relationship between owners and rabbits is based on delicate pillars of trust and patience. Because they are prey animals, their survival instincts shape how they interpret our actions. Often, dedicated owners make the mistake of humanizing them or treating them like dogs and cats, without realizing that seemingly harmless gestures can be interpreted as real threats, undermining the bond that has been built. Rabbits possess a unique body language and process the world in a particular way. Understanding these nuances is vital to avoid unnecessary anxieties. This guide identifies 7 common mistakes that silently sabotage this connection. By correcting them, you will transform the environment into a safe haven, allowing your pet to feel truly connected and understood, establishing a genuinely harmonious and respectful coexistence. Error 1. Catching him by surprise from above. The problem. One of the most frequent and damaging mistakes is taking the rabbit by surprise, especially from above. To understand why this is so devastating to their confidence, we need to look through a rabbit's eyes. In nature, predators like eagles, hawks, and owls attack from above. When a shadow or quick movement appears above them, their ancestral instinct triggers an internal alarm of mortal danger. When you approach quickly and pick up your rabbit without warning, it doesn't see a loving owner, it sees a potential threat. Even if you do it with the best intentions, such as taking it to the vet or simply giving it affection, the rabbit interprets it as an imminent attack. This fear accumulates over time, creating a negative association with your presence. The solution: always get down to the rabbit's level before any interaction. Approach from the side, never directly from the front or above. Speak softly to it before touching it, allowing it to perceive your presence through sound and smell. Extend your hand slowly so it can smell and recognize it. When you need to pick it up, first gently pet it for a few seconds. Slide one hand under its chest, supporting its front paws, and the other under its rear, supporting its hind legs. Lift it close to your body, offering security. If your rabbit struggles, don't fight it. This will only increase its panic. Instead, lower yourself again and try it another time, respecting its limits. Error 2. Not respecting their territory and hiding places. The problem: rabbits are territorial animals that need their own spaces where they feel completely safe. Many owners constantly invade these havens, whether to clean, reorganize, or simply because they want to interact with their pet. When you force your hand inside the rabbit hutch, burrow, or under the furniture where it is hiding, you are violating its sanctuary. Imagine your home is repeatedly invaded by someone much larger than you, without your consent. Even if that person does nothing wrong, the feeling of vulnerability and loss of control over your personal space would generate chronic stress. This is exactly what happens to rabbits when we don't respect their territories. The solution: establish clearly defined zones, areas where the rabbit can stay undisturbed and areas for interaction. If it takes refuge somewhere, resist the temptation to take it away. Let it come out on its own when it feels ready. For necessary cleaning and maintenance, create a predictable routine. Always use the same approach and schedule, allowing the rabbit to anticipate and mentally prepare for the change. Offer treats before and after the process, transforming something potentially stressful into a positive experience. Consider having multiple hiding places available so that it always has refuge options even while cleaning one of them. Error 3. Exaggerated reactions to natural behaviors. The problem: rabbits do things that can seem irritating to humans. They chew furniture, dig up carpets, mark their territory with urine, and knock things over. Many owners react to these behaviors by yelling, slapping, spraying water, or chasing the animal. These reactions not only fail to correct the behavior, but also destroy trust. When you yell or make sudden movements toward your rabbit, it doesn't associate your reaction with the specific behavior it just performed. Instead, it simply learns that you are unpredictable and potentially dangerous. The rabbit doesn't understand that chewing on the sofa is wrong to it. It's just natural behavior for wearing down its teeth and exploring its environment. The solution: redirect instead of punishing. If the rabbit is chewing on something inappropriate, immediately offer a suitable alternative, such as a wooden toy or hay. When it accepts the alternative, reward it with affection or a healthy treat. Prevent problems instead of reacting. Protect furniture with covers, block access to prohibited areas, and provide appropriate digging mats. Enrich the environment with varied toys, tunnels, and structures that meet the rabbit's natural needs. Neutering or spaying significantly reduces territorial behaviors such as urine marking. Always maintain a calm tone of voice. If you need to interrupt a behavior, use a soft sound such as a low whistle or a single, discreet clap, never aggressively. The goal is to get their attention, not to scare them. Error 4. Forcing interactions and affection. The problem. This mistake stems from a place of love, but causes profound harm. You love your rabbit and want to show affection through constant hugs, kisses, and petting. However, rabbits are not naturally lap animals. Being held or prevented from moving activates their prey instincts, simulating the sensation of being captured by a predator. Forcing interactions when the rabbit shows disinterest, turning its head away, moving away, becoming tense, or flattening its ears, teaches it that you don't respect its communication signals. Over time, it stops trying to communicate its boundaries because it has learned that you will ignore them anyway. The solution: allow the rabbit to initiate interactions whenever possible. Sit on the floor of its enclosure and wait. Read a book, use your phone, simply exist in the space without expectations. The rabbit's natural curiosity will eventually lead it to you. Learn your body language. Ears forward indicate curiosity and comfort. Ears back signal discomfort or fear. Bruxism, gentle teeth grinding indicates contentment. A relaxed and upright body demonstrates confidence. Respect each of these signals. When offering affection, start with areas that rabbits generally enjoy: the top of the head, between the ears, cheeks, and back. Avoid the belly and paws, which are extremely sensitive. If the rabbit recoils, accept this gracefully. Quality matters more than quantity. 5 minutes of interaction where the rabbit is genuinely relaxed is worth more than an hour of forced petting. Error 5. Inconsistency in routine and care. The problem: rabbits are creatures of habit that find security in predictability. When the routine is chaotic, feeding at different times every day, irregular cleaning, inconsistent interaction periods, the rabbit lives in a constant state of anxiety. It never knows what to expect, which prevents the development of deep trust. The inconsistency extends to the caregivers as well. If different family members handle the rabbit in completely different ways, it cannot develop a clear understanding of how to interact with humans. One day someone picks it up gently, the next day someone else grabs it roughly. This unpredictability is mentally exhausting. The solution: establish fixed times for feeding, cleaning, and playtime. Rabbits benefit enormously from structured routines. Feed them at the same times every day, clean the cage on the same day and time of the week, and offer fresh vegetables at predictable times. Create a family protocol for interacting with the rabbit. Everyone in the house should use similar techniques for handling, feeding, and playing with it. Hold a family meeting where you demonstrate the correct ways to interact and explain why consistency matters. Maintain the routine even during vacations or changes in the house. If you travel, leave detailed instructions for whoever will be taking care of the rabbit. The more stable and predictable the environment, the safer and more confident your rabbit will feel. Error 6. Ignoring signs of pain or discomfort. The problem: rabbits are masters at hiding pain and illness, another survival mechanism, since prey animals that show weakness become easy targets. Many owners fail to recognize subtle signs of physical discomfort: changes in appetite, hunched posture, altered breathing, decreased activity, teeth grinding different from pleasurable bruxism. When you don't respond appropriately to these signals, whether by taking the rabbit to the vet or adjusting its management, the rabbit suffers in silence. This lack of response to its needs breaks trust, as the animal perceives that you are not protecting it when it is vulnerable. The solution: Educate yourself about the specific body language of pain in rabbits. Learn the difference between contented bruxism soft, relaxed, and teeth grinding of pain louder, tense body. Observe your rabbit's baseline behaviors, how much it eats, drinks, how it moves, to quickly identify any deviations. Schedule regular veterinary checkups with a professional specializing in exotic animals. Many health problems in rabbits are preventable or more easily treatable when detected early. Keep a health diary where you record daily behaviors, feeding, and eliminations. Adjust the environment for physical comfort. Ensure that the surfaces where the rabbit walks do not cause podadermatitis sores on the paws. Provide adequate support for elderly rabbits or those with mobility problems. Maintain a comfortable room temperature, as rabbits are sensitive to extremes of heat and cold. Error number 7, concerning the lack of mental and physical enrichment, is perhaps one of the most neglected, as many owners still see rabbits as contemplative animals that just sit there. However, the biological reality is the opposite. Rabbits are beings endowed with vibrant intelligence, keen curiosity, and a constant need for movement. In nature, they spend most of their time mapping territories, foraging, and interacting socially. When confined to sterile environments without challenges or variety, the psychological impact is devastating. An empty environment is not just monotonous. For a rabbit, it is a sensory prison that results in profound boredom and chronic frustration. This lack of stimulation often manifests itself through behaviors that the owner mistakenly interprets as rebellion or bad temper. A rabbit that obsessively chews furniture, digs up the carpet until it is destroyed, or becomes aggressive when touched is, in fact, crying out for help. Without anywhere to channel its natural energy, it redirects these instincts toward what is available. Furthermore, the lack of activity leads to apathy and stereotypies or repetitive movements without apparent function, such as head shaking or biting the cage bars, which indicate a state of depression and mental distress. Punishing these behaviors is a serious mistake, as it ignores the root cause, the unmet hunger to live and explore. To reverse this situation and ensure complete well-being, the solution lies in creating a three-dimensional and dynamic environment. Rabbits don't live only on a horizontal plane. They love to observe the world from elevated points and feel safe in narrow passages. Adding platforms of different heights, safe ramps, and PVC or fabric tunnels allows them to exercise their muscles and spatial perception. Monotony is the enemy of enrichment, so a rotation strategy is fundamental. Don't offer all the toys at once. Maintain a weekly rotation. Put some away and introduce new ones or those that were stored away. For the rabbit, novelty in the environment is an immediate invitation to investigation, keeping its cognitive processes active. Another essential pillar is food enrichment, which simulates natural foraging behavior. In nature, food doesn't fall from the sky into a bowl. It needs to be searched for. You can replicate this by scattering hay in various locations, hiding chicory leaves inside cardboard boxes stuffed with brown paper, or using suspended hay bales. Food puzzles, where the animal needs to move pieces or figure out how to open a compartment to get a feed pellet, are excellent problem-solving exercises. This keeps the mind focused and reduces anxiety, transforming mealtime into a playful and rewarding activity. We cannot forget that the foundation of a rabbit's life is socialization. Although the bond with its owner is precious, nothing replaces the presence of another rabbit. They are colonial animals that depend on physical contact, mutual grooming, and silent communication with others to feel complete. A companion of the same species offers 24-hour stimulation, combating loneliness when the owner is away. It is important to emphasize that this introduction should be done patiently, and both rabbits should be neutered to avoid territorial conflicts or unwanted litters, but the end result is a visibly happier and more balanced animal. Finally, your role as a tutor involves interactive time. Enrichment shouldn't be purely passive. Dedicate moments of the day to clicker training, teaching simple commands like come or turn around, which reinforces confidence and mental agility. Improvised obstacle courses with boxes and cushions are also great ways to expend energy. By transforming your rabbit's living space into a rich, challenging, and socially active territory, you not only eliminate destructive behaviors but also discover your pet's true personality, a cheerful, astute animal deeply connected to its environment and to you. Gaining a rabbit's trust is one of the most rewarding achievements a pet owner can experience, but it isn't established through grand, isolated gestures or overnight. Rather, it's meticulously woven through countless small moments of mutual respect, consistent routines, and a deep, genuine understanding of their unique biological and emotional needs. Each of the 7 mistakes discussed throughout this guide may seem minor or insignificant in isolation, but their cumulative effect is powerful, capable of erecting an invisible yet insurmountable barrier between you and your little companion. The good news, and the greatest hope for any pet owner, is that it's never too late to correct these behavioral patterns. Despite being cautious, rabbits are surprisingly resilient creatures, capable of forgiving past mistakes. They possess a keen sensitivity to perceive real changes in the energy and posture of their caregivers. When you decide to replace imposition with patience and ignorance with the study of lagomorph language, the rabbit perceives that the environment has become safe. Start by implementing one change at a time, carefully observing each subtle movement of your pet's ears or snout, adjusting your rhythm to theirs. Always remember, the ultimate goal isn't just to have a rabbit that tolerates your presence or doesn't run away when you approach. The objective is to cultivate a bond where it genuinely appreciates your company and actively seeks to be by your side. When you witness your rabbit completely relaxed, lying on its side with its paws stretched out the famous flop, or making contentment bruxism, that slight teeth grinding that indicates extreme happiness while receiving affection, you'll know that the foundation of trust has been solidified. That's the true gift. A harmonious and loving relationship with such extraordinary and sensitive animals.